Lagom presents Winging It, Parenting in the Middle of Life, written and read by Alex Jones, with Kenny Blythe and Harriet Carmichael. Introduction. The tweet went out. Alex Jones is releasing a book about motherhood. Cue the furious tapping on keyboards. Not another one sharing her so-called baby tips. What does she know about bringing up a baby? Okay, hands up, I admit it. Nothing. Not a clue. My sister and my best friend both bought me the sweatshirt you see me wear on the cover last Christmas, which pretty much summed up how they thought it was going to pan out. And they were spot on, hence the title. Truth be told, I'd never even changed a nappy until I had Teddy last year at 39. Before then, I thought that swaddling was something they did to baby Jesus back in the day, but wasn't a thing anymore. Now that I've spent 12 months being responsible for a small human, there are a few tips I could share with brand new parents. Nothing groundbreaking or life-changing, just some handy suggestions, parent to parent. This book is not a guide or a parenting manual, because let's face it, that ground has been well and truly covered. I see this book as more of a conversation starter, or a support group if you like. A place for parents who had their first child in their 30s and 40s to get together and celebrate that we are procreating later in life while working out, with the help of some proper experts, the best ways of integrating a new addition into a life that is already nearly at capacity. I searched for this sort of book when I was pregnant, a book that I could connect with, that spoke to me as a working mother in her late 30s, and I didn't find anything that quite hit the mark. So I've had a go at writing one. The question. Let me share a bit of my backstory. So Charlie, my husband, and I got married on the 31st of December 2015, and 4 minutes after the ceremony, Auntie Marion led the charge with, "So are you going to start trying straight away?" Bless Auntie Marion, but I'm sure most of you, having been there yourselves, will share my irritation, to put it mildly. In the weeks that followed, the same question was fired at me at least once daily, mainly by journalists, who usually followed up with, "Are you worried you've left it too late?" I always gave a breezy answer, but in reality, I was going through life in a state of low-level irritation, which was mostly fueled by unhelpful headlines in the papers like these. Female fertility clock starts ticking at 27. Fertility woes over 30. Fertility rate falls off cliff at 35. I wasn't paranoid, but I had become increasingly curious about the impact of age on our fertility. I trawled the internet, but comprehensive information on the subject was really hard to find. I wanted to challenge these ageist headlines, see for myself how closely related age and fertility are, and I wanted to meet others who were about to embark on parenthood a bit later in life so that we could compare notes.
There's definitely a generation gap with being an older mum. My mum was in her early 20s when she had me, and our experiences are totally different because of that. From how our bodies are to our jobs. I don't feel like I have a touchstone. We really are winging it. Jenny.
Television is flooded with documentaries on various health topics, such as how much we drink, how much red meat we eat, insomnia, dementia, and how to stay young. But there is little airtime given to arguably the most important of all, fertility and creating life. I pitched my idea to the BBC, and 9 months later, my documentary Fertility and Me was broadcast. It started a well-overdue conversation about a subject that, for some bizarre reason, is still taboo. It also highlighted the fact that there are tons of couples like you and me who are starting families in their 30s and 40s for all sorts of reasons. Joining the parenting club in our 30s and beyond means that we are spinning an extraordinary number of plates, often including a career that is at its peak. As a result, we are the first generation where our parenting roles aren't defined by gender. We are the first ones to mix it up and truly share the responsibility and joy of having a child. Today, more than ever, both men and women are having conversations with their employers about flexible hours in the constant search for work-family life balance, helped by the introduction in the UK of shared parental leave in April 2015. Most of us co-parent or fly solo in the true sense of the word, relying solely on each other and or friends when, more often than not, extended family are too far away to help on a regular basis. Our parents could look to their parents for guidance, but this situation is new, modern and unique. We can only look to
Sample complete. Ready to continue?